Hello everyone, welcome back. As promised, we're going to get right into making these Portuguese street stones known as calçada. I use MDF and I give them a good primer coat and then a faux finish, and I just want to cut this piece of MDF down to the size that I need. Just gonna take this over to the table saw and give it a quick whack. Okay. So the desktop CNC machine I have uses a very nice engraving bit, which is quite sharp, that allows you to get in and get these incredible fine, deep lines out of the MDF material. If I can just take the sheath off of this, I can give you an idea of how, hopefully the camera's picking up on how sharp that is. So what I've done is I've gone out, I've taken a photograph of a good example of Calsada, then I've taken it into Illustrator and I've made a vector drawing. And that vector drawing I'm going to take into a program like Easel, and Easel communicates directly with my desktop CNC machine. And what I've done is I've created a repetition. I've created a repetitious piece, like a puzzle piece, so that I can just keep adding the calçada to each other, like this. So no matter what I do, I have basically a puzzle of street stones that I can put together, and then I individually carve the surfaces with chisels to kind of break up the monotony, and then after painting, you can't really tell that they're exact copies of each other. So what we're going to do now is I'll take you into Illustrator. I'll show you how I went about making the vector drawing, and then I'll take you over and we'll load up the CNC machine. Okay, so now we're in Illustrator, and I just wanted to show you how I make a vector drawing that we're going to convert to an SVG. I have to correct what I said earlier. An Easel uses to then generate the G code for taking it into the CNC machine. I know that sounds complicated and is complicated, but if you want to follow Jame Dean on his channel, he can give you all the information that you need about that. He's the master of CNC machines, and as far as I'm concerned. And I will just get right into showing you how to quickly start a basic Illustrator document, and then we're going to place an image. So then I just take the pen tool and I go around and I just start more or less tracing out each of the stones. It doesn't have to be precise, just make sure you close off each of your paths, because we're gonna create a compound path after we're done doing this. And this is where you would set up your puzzle piece to get everything linked together. So You just keep making the stones, until you get to a size that you want to use. I'm not going to do the entire thing. I'm just going to give you just a quick example how to set up a compound path and export the document to create the SVG file. So let's say we've created a sequence of stones, and we've done the entire section that we want. So then I go in and I create a square, and this one can be filled. Send it to the back, and then I'm going to re-highlight everything. And now the important part is I want to go to Object, and then I want to go to Compound Path, Make Compound Path. Now you can select it, and this is your object now. Okay, because we need this internal information here for the CNC machine. But what we want to do is get rid of all this excess black we have on the outside edges, and I just there's probably an easier way to do this, but I just kind of go around, especially when you're making the puzzle pieces. You need to really be able to control your line to get everything lining up. So I'm just gonna walk this around. Oops. Okay, so now we're done with that. Select the entire thing. And now we want to go File, and then Save As. We want to select SVG. I've already done one, so I'll just say Save Untitled SVG, because I'm gonna open up the larger file that I've already completed. All of this is fine. Okay, now this is the larger file that I had already created, and I've saved it out as an SVG. And now what we want to do is go to the easel website. Okay, so now we're in easel, and what we want to do is we want to enter the size material that we have and type of material that we have. So we're working with MDF. And we are and then I just use just a standard engraving bit. It doesn't really matter when you're working this. I mean, unless you want to be incredibly precise, I just select the tip that's the closest one the closest one in the library to what I have, and that would be this tip. And so then come over to the import document, and then you see SVG. That looks about right. Depth of cut, we don't need it to be, the thickness of our material is 15 millimeters, so we are gonna back it off. Depth of cut, maybe 5. That'll probably do it. Okay, and then we're gonna go to project, download G-code. It's going to simulate the tool path for us. And then it's going to give us an option to where to save out the G-code for printing with the CNC machine. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save that to your SD card that you take to your CNC machine. And now we're going to exit out of the computer. Before I take this over to put into the CNC machine, I need to prep it to hold it to the work bed of the CNC machine with a little bit of tape. I'm basically going to glue it down to the surface with a little bit of CA glue.